Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I thought I'd vlog live here on YouTube because I decided to go to work in the office today. I'm not going to get into the reasons why I chose to do so, and most of the office is empty, but it's a bit complicated. You know, in a professional work environment, there can be certain peer pressures that go on. What's strange about it all is that nobody's out. So if there was the alternative where everyone's out and about, then your likelihood of catching anything is so much greater. The flu, the cold, whatever. But literally, all I'm seeing on the road are semis, and I just went through a bunch of driven by these Potbellies and fast food places. Literally, the insides are empty, the parking lots are empty. So I went through Potbellies and picked up a sandwich, and what normally would take 10 or 15 minutes took me 30 seconds. Their bathrooms were closed, their dining room was closed, but they're doing Grubhub, and you can just quickly get your food and they want you to leave. So I emotionally feel better than yesterday. You know, I've been given the opportunity to either work from home or go into the office, and it's completely up to me. But I just got off of antibiotics on Sunday, so technically, medically speaking, my immune system is suppressed. So I'm nervous about all that and have anxiety about it and apprehension. But I'm also logical, and as a poker player, I'm into mathematician and mathematics, and like, it's far more dangerous for me to be driving around rather than sitting down, if you know what I mean. Just probably statistically speaking. So I would tend to take the belief that the lockdown is helping rather than hindering. It's going to absolutely crush businesses. A lot of businesses are going to have their worst second quarter that they've had in years. And I feel we're definitely heading into a recession. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a friggin' nightmare. So it's a nightmare for not equally amongst the population, you know. I still got my job, I still got my career, I still got my lovely wife and my awesome kids and my mortgage and my health and everything. And I don't think any of that's going anywhere. For a lot of people, though, financially, this is going to crush them. It's not going to crush me financially whatsoever. I may have some short-term clients cancel or some postponements, but that's all stuff that I won't sweat. So hey, I'm a true believer in waking up every day and controlling what you can control and what you cannot control. You have to just take a deep breath and move on, you know? So I'm trying to control what I can control. I'm literally walking around with my spray antiseptic here, spraying it constantly, and I'm never using my hands to open and close doors. I'm always using a napkin or my sleeve or my jacket sleeve. I'm keeping social distance, and I already noticed that people in public are like avoiding each other. So somebody would normally walk by each other. No, they're like taking a 6-foot loop around you, and me as well. And I think the elevator too. I'm in no hurry to get inside of an elevator with anybody. But like I said a few minutes ago, my office is basically empty and the elevators are empty. So, but I also think it's important to mention that this virus can live on surfaces for 1 to 3 days. So you always have to be washing your hands and don't touch your face. So I'm constantly telling myself, don't touch my nose, don't touch my eyes, don't touch my mouth. And that actually is a habit of mine. So yeah, it's a habit of mine in the poker rooms in the past as well, where I would pick up these really weird viruses. I had one last year that lasted like 4 weeks of this chronic cough sinusitis. So, very strange times, very weird. I'm going to bed feeling weird, waking up feeling weird. It's just unreal, really. Like, you literally have to pinch yourself each morning you wake up and go, is this really happening? Is the stock market really plummeting 10% every other day? Is Chicago headed towards a literal lockdown like San Francisco just did, where they're not even gonna let you leave your home unless it's an emergency? It's friggin' wild. All of this is absolutely wild. One day I'll think that this is completely overblown and that media is scared the living daylights out of people for no reason. And then the next day, I will recognize that, especially the highly populated metro areas where people literally live on top of each other, I think to keep the safety of Americans, if I just talk about America, then you have to take the measures, extreme measures, to protect the safety and welfare of all ages, not just senior citizens. If the younger population keeps getting this and keeps spreading it, then the older population, which is protecting themselves, will get it just by default. Unfortunately, this virus is extremely contagious. I keep hearing that, but at the same time, I tend to believe that all viruses are extremely contagious. I could be wrong, but that's what I tend to believe. You know, if you're around someone that has the flu, you're probably going to get the flu. If you're around someone that has a cold, you're going to get it. Viruses can just live in the air after someone sneezes or coughs. And if you're within 3 to 6 feet of that person, you could inhale it, or you could touch something that it dropped on. So it's nuts. And the last thing I'll say here, because it's one of the most important things that everyone should recognize, and it was a reminder to me through all my studies of epidemiology and infectious disease over the years, that the only way for a mass population to become immune to a virus is for them to catch the virus and recover from the virus. So let's say a third of the United States catches this virus within the next 6 to 12 months. Well, that third will then become immune to it. Most people will become immune to it. Therefore, that third of the population can no longer spread the disease, can no longer spread the virus. That's a critically important part of all this, because until that happens, nobody in the United States has recovered. I know a small percentage have recovered, but basically nobody has. Therefore, everyone can spread this damn thing. That's why the lockdown is so damn important. That if you can try and contain it and at least get to the summer months where viruses typically don't spread as fast in the summer months, then you have a chance to minimize the damage. But there is not going to be any minimizing the damages to the economy in America. The travel industry, the restaurant industry, basically any industry that is going to have a domino effect of negativity from people working at home and people not working at all, and businesses kind of shutting down. Like Potbelly's I just went to, even though they're open for business, it is empty. It is empty. So this whole thought that, oh, well, restaurants will survive because they're open for takeout, no, it's not going to happen. I think a lot of businesses are going to suffer, and handout checks from the government are not going to help in the long term. They may help in the short term, but... So there's my rant for Wednesday. Viral mania. I'm trying to be as productive as possible. Control what I can control. And hope you guys are doing the same. Peace out. I'm going to let you go. It's Kim Mach 7.